Manchester United getting battered, hammered, taken to the cleaners against West Ham today. Really, really frustrating and disappointed with that. That was absolutely diabolical from Manchester United. 3-1 defeat away at West Ham, who've started to look better in recent weeks, but Manchester United, absolutely terrible. We've started with whatever formation you want to call it. Well, Martial and Lukaku sort of as the strikers, Paul Pogba in behind. I wasn't too sure at times Scott McTominay was in the centre of defence. It was just an absolute shambles. Ashley Young still starting at left back. Oh, it's just an absolute diabolical it was for Manchester United today. Players not performing well. Nothing going well for Manchester United. Absolutely shocking from Manchester United. Some of these players do not deserve, admittedly, to be in the starting lineup. Some of them are not playing for the manager. The tactics were completely wrong today for Manchester United. Just diabolical from Manchester United. Really, really was. Lukaku again not out of the races today. That's a good few games now. Lukaku has done absolutely fuck all for Manchester United. There wasn't even any Sanchez or Jesse Lingard even on the substitutes bench. What the fuck is going on there? To be honest, what is going on with Manchester United at the moment? You know, it is absolutely dreadful. Going 1-0 down early on to West Ham. Anderson getting his first goal for West Ham. Manchester United then coming back into it a little bit, but really, really poor. I mean, Ashley Young at fault for the goal for me. Really poor part up to playing it anyway. Shouldn't be playing for Manchester United. Not good enough. Martial also has had so many chances and not been good enough for Manchester United. Really, really poor. Where did Manchester United go from here? Going in 2-0 down at half-time. Thoroughly deserved lead for West Ham. Getting a deflected goal for the second off Lindelof. You can't argue with going 2-0 down at half-time. Manchester United second half coming out. We did make the change. Rashford coming on into the second half for Lindelof. Scott McTominay going further back even more as a centre half completely. And Scott McTominay should not be playing centre half for Manchester United. This is atrocious. We've spent enough money to fucking get a good defence out there. Diogo Dalot not even on the substitutes bench. You paid 19 million for him. What the fuck is going on there? Ashley Young should not be playing at right back. It's absolutely disgusting from Manchester United to be playing Ashley Young at right back when you've just bought Diogo Dalot. Okay, maybe he wasn't the best against Derby County in the defensive sense, but he put in that wicked cross for that equaliser against Derby, and you pay a lot of money for him. You've got to be confident that he's got the ability, and he's going to make mistakes. He's a young lad, but you've got to give him the confidence to go into this game. He wasn't even along the substitutes bench. Will he play in the week? Who knows? Where was Valencia today? We just don't know. Where was Sanchez and Lingard? Sanchez was on the bench there, but he wasn't actually named on the substitutes bench for this game. He was there on the touchline with the other members of the squad. So he did travel to London, but wasn't included on the bench. So he obviously wasn't injured. But okay, he has been poor for Manchester United so far. But Anthony Martial hasn't exactly lit it up for Manchester United. Okay, he got a goal against Young Boys, but Young Boys are absolutely fucking horseshit. And Derby County are not good enough either. And he put in an okay performance in that, but should be doing better from Martial. Got oofed off in the second half. Paul Pogba also getting oofed off in the second half. Just tried to walk past Mourinho. There's obviously problems there. The other players on the substitutes bench seem to like Paul Pogba, shaking some of their hands and that. So I don't know, but from what I gather, some of these players just aren't playing for the manager. And to be honest, I think that the end is near for Jose Mourinho. I'll back the man. I wanted the man to succeed. I thought he would succeed. I was very, very confident that the man would succeed. He's certainly done a better job than the previous managers that we've had, Moyes and LVG. He got a second last season, but he hasn't been able to kick us on. Okay, it's frustrating that Ed Woodward hasn't brought in the players that he wanted in the summer, but you just got to knuckle down, get on with it. And some of the players that I think just aren't playing for the manager, Paul Pogba certainly being one of them. He wants Mourinho out. Anthony Martial, I believe, wants him out. And also Marcus Rashford, I believe, wants him out. That is three players that I know of that I believe want Jose Mourinho out. And a lot of these players are fond of Paul Pogba, and I think it is getting to the stage where a lot of these players are going to start wanting the manager out. The dressing room is turning on Jose Mourinho, I do believe, which is a shame. I never wanted things to go this way. Jose Mourinho is has been a top manager, and I believe he probably still will go to another club and win some titles if given the opportunity at another big club. And it is disappointing for Manchester United. You give the guy a new contract last season and you don't back the guy in the summer, which is very disappointing because there are players in this squad that just aren't good enough. And I don't know where Manchester United go from here. I presume that he probably won't see see out till Christmas. Jose Mourinho, I believe that he probably will be gone before then. I don't believe he'll be gone now this game is finished, because we've got a big game coming up against Valencia in the Champions League in midweek, which we've got to win. We cannot afford to lose that game, because we've got a double header coming up after that against Juventus in the Champions League. So we've got to be looking to win that game. And if, I don't know, after that Newcastle game, that may be the final nail in the coffin, because we cannot afford to let ourselves slip any lower down the league, because we could, if we were to bring in a new manager, maybe fresh ideas, maybe a manager that's got better man management with some of these players, we could maybe turn this around and still make the Champions League spots this season. There's a lot of football still to be played. Obviously, we've got no chance of challenging probably for the title this season, barring an absolute miracle of a massive run with a new manager. But if we did change manager now, I'm not saying I've wanted Jose Mourinho out, but if the players aren't performing for the manager, aren't trying to turn this around for the manager, then, I mean, you're looking at Lukaku. He is certainly better than this. I'm not sure that Lukaku's good enough for Manchester United if you want to win the league or anything, but he's certainly a bit better than what he's performing these last few weeks. And if these players are not up to performing, then you've got to try something. You've probably got to try something else, because it can't get any worse than a game like today. If we have more of these games like today, then it can only get better if you get another manager in. You can't get any worse than a defeat. So we will have to try something. But it is really disappointing that this has got to this stage now, where players just aren't performing, don't look like they're putting in the effort, and that is a real worry for me, because it's happened at Chelsea with players for Jose Mourinho and for Antonio Conte, and I don't want another manager to come in and 1 year down the line these players are doing the same. The likes of Anthony Martial are not putting in the shift that they probably should be for the guy. Now, obviously, Zidane is the main man out there that everyone's talking about, and there are rumours that he could be in the job. Maybe he could get a better tune out of these players. I mean, he's an absolute legend in the game. He's won a lot at Real Madrid, but I'm still not convinced if he is the great manager that some people think he could be. And he's never rebuilt a team, and he's going to have to rebuild this team, because there are problems in this team that do need addressing. And he can't do that at the moment. He may get a better tune out of this team. We may finish higher in the league than we will at this moment in time. It looks like it's going under Jose Mourinho, but I'm not sure how massively it's going to improve. You look at the likes of Chelsea, they've got world-class players. And when a player just downs tools for a manager, they seem to bring in another manager, and the players seem to start playing for that manager again. We don't have the level of players that Chelsea do have in their squad, I don't believe. I believe we have a good squad, but in certain areas, but I just don't know if we haven't got the class that they have in the likes of Eden Hazard and N'Golo Kante, them type of players. I don't believe, but some of these players are still good enough for Manchester United. It's just that we're not getting the tune out of some of them, and hopefully the likes of Lindelof, Bay can improve if we were to get another manager. So we're just going to have to see what happens. I don't know where we're actually going to go from here in the week against Valencia. We will just have to wait and see. But let me know your thoughts on this game. Paul Pogba, what's happening with him? He got oofed off, as I say, after 17 minutes. We're just going to have to see what happens there. Will he get a better tune out of him if Zidane comes in? I mean, Zidane, an absolute French legend, winning World Cups, Euros for France, winning Champions Leagues. Could he come in and be the inspiration Paul Pogba needs and to turn him around? And maybe Paul Pogba might be happy at Manchester United. Who knows? But some of these players do not look happy at this moment in time. We've got to change something around in the next few weeks. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.